Read this sentence. The animal did not cross the street because it was too tired. What does the word it refer to? The animal, obviously. Now change one word. The animal did not cross the street because it was too wide. Suddenly, it means the street. You just did something extraordinary. Instantly and without effort. One word, 7 words away, rewired the meaning of another. Today, we find out how a machine learned to do that, because the answer is the most important invention in modern artificial intelligence. 2 sentences, one above the other. The animal did not cross the street because it was too tired, and below it, the same sentence ending too wide. A red arrow from it curving back to animal in the first and to street in the second. To see why this was hard, look at how machines used to read. The older designs went strictly left to right, one word at a time, crushing everything so far into a single running summary. That summary was all the memory there was, so by the end of a long paragraph, the beginning had been squeezed and rewritten and squeezed again, like a message whispered down a line of people. Details at the start simply faded, and worse, because every word waited for the one before it, the machine could never read in parallel. Reading was a queue, and queues are slow. A chain of boxes labeled Word 1 through Word 9, passing one tiny sticky note labeled Summary left to right. The earliest words drawn faded and almost erased. Then, in 2017, a research paper proposed something almost reckless. Stop reading in order, throw the cue away, put every word on the table at once, and let each one look directly at every other word in a single step. The design was called the transformer, and the looking is attention. And here is the important part. Attention is not a metaphor. It is arithmetic. Let us watch it happen to that one troublesome word, it. The words of the sentence in a flat row with a dense web of fin arrows connecting every word to every other word, labeled Every Word Looks at Every Word. Every word produces 3 things. First, a query, what this word is looking for. Think of typing into a search box. The word it is a pronoun, so its query is essentially, I stand in for some noun nearby. Which one? Second, a key, a short advertisement of what this word offers. The animal advertises a living creature that can be tired. The street advertises a wide, flat object. Third, a value, the actual content this word hands over if somebody pays attention to it. The machine compares the query from it against the key of every other word, and each comparison produces a score for how well they match. Those scores become percentages that add up to 100. Because the clue word is tired, the query matches the animal strongly and the street weakly, so attention might land 85% on animal and 10% on street. Then the machine builds a blend, mixing the values of all the words in exactly those proportions, and that blend becomes the new meaning of the word it. It is no longer an empty pronoun. It now carries most of animal inside it. Now watch the magic. Change tired to wide. Nothing about the machine changes. Not one number in its billions of dials moves. But the query from it now matches a wide, flat object better than a living creature, so the percentages flip. 80% lands on street. The same machinery, the same weights, a completely different meaning purely because the context changed. And because every word is doing this to every other word at once, the sentence essentially studying itself, this is called self-attention. One round of looking is not enough because words relate in many ways at once. Who is doing the action? Which adjective belongs to which noun? What is the topic? One set of attention scores cannot track all of that. So the machine runs many attention operations side by side, each with its own queries, keys, and values, each free to specialize. This is multi-head attention. Picture several transparent sheets over the same sentence, one highlighting grammar, one tracking who did what to whom, one following the subject, all stacked into one combined picture. Now, if you have been paying attention yourself, you may have spotted a serious problem. If every word is thrown on the table at once and looks at
every other word simultaneously, then nothing tells the machine what order the words came in. Pause the video and think about why that is a disaster. Here's why. Dog bites man and man bites dog contain identical words. Without order, they are the same soup. So before any of this begins, each word is stamped with its position, like a numbered seat at a table. The words arrive together, but each knows exactly where it was sitting.
One more piece. Attention only moves information between words. It decides what to look at. It does not decide what to make of what it found. So immediately after each attention step, every word passes through a small processing layer of its own, where a great deal of the model's actual knowledge is stored and applied. Look around, then think. That pair is one layer of the transformer, then you stack it dozens of times. Early layers sort out grammar. Middle layers assemble who is doing what. The deepest layers hold the abstract stuff, tone, intent, meaning. Each layer receives a better understood sentence than the one below it. One extra rule applies inside a chatbot. Since the job is predicting the next word, every word may only look backwards, never forwards. If a word could peek ahead, predicting would be cheating and the model would learn nothing. So a mask hides the future, and each word attends only to what came before it. All this power has a price, and it explains something you have hit. Every word compares itself with every other, so 10 words means 100 comparisons, but 100 words means 10,000. Double the text, quadruple the work. It is the handshake problem. That is why models have a limited context window, why a very long document costs so much more, and why so much research goes into making attention cheaper. So here's the big picture. The transformer stopped reading word by word and started looking at everything at once. Each word asks a question, every other word advertises what it offers, and the best matches get blended in. Many heads track many kinds of relationship, position tags preserve order, and stacking the arrangement dozens of times turns raw words into deep understanding. And remember what this unlocked. No queue means the work splits across thousands of specialized chips at once, which is precisely how these models grew big enough to swallow the internet. Last episode gave us the data. This gave us the engine. But underneath it all, we have been quietly assuming something. That the machine can compare the meaning of two words at all. That it somehow knows an animal is more like a creature than a road. Where does that come from? Next time, how meaning itself becomes numbers, and the strange and beautiful map the model builds of every idea it has ever met.